Today's video will be getting the opinions of Ukrainians about things related to the UK and Ukraine. I'm here with
Viola. Sasha.
Nice to meet you both.
Arrived in May this year. Like 3 months in total.
And you? How long?
Almost 2.5 years.
What brought you to the UK?
Because the war started in Ukraine, I moved to Ireland first, but then I wanted to apply for visa here. So basically, I'm just working at the moment.
Which part of Ireland were you in?
Dublin.
How long were you there?
For a year. And actually, Irish people told me when I wanted to move here about like English people are so bad and you would not like England. But I loved it. I loved it more than Ireland.
Really?
Yeah, I've been here for 2.5 years and I was there for 1 year.
So we'll talk about Ireland then. What was the best thing about Ireland?
People. People are really genuine, really nice. Yeah, I liked it there.
Do you have a given example, a specific example where somebody was really nice to you in Ireland?
Yeah, when I came there, there was a lot of people that was offering help to refugees from Ukraine and houses. Like people wanted to take refugees in their houses just to accommodate them. Yeah, people would be like asking if you need anything anytime on any events because I'm from Ukraine, and they would be like so sympathetic. A lot of people, when I was saying that I'm from Ukraine, they were just crying and like, oh, we're so sorry to hear that. We're with you. We're all together.
That's really sweet. That's a very nice thing to hear. And what was the most challenging thing about Ireland?
It's expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
More so than London?
I think, sometimes it's even more expensive than London. I'll go there in like 2 days and it's all the time. I spend a lot of money there. Accommodation are more expensive than in London as well.
If you don't mind saying, what were you paying in Dublin and what are you paying here?
So for a 3-bedroom house, I paid there 3,000 euros. I mean, I don't rent here, but I rent outside of London at Highbridge, sorry.
Okay.
It's 2,600 pounds.
Okay. You pay a lot for rent. What do you do? Is that all for you?
It's property. I do property business kind of.
Okay.
So it's complicated.
Okay.
But it's not in London. In London, it would be more expensive. I think it's pretty cheap.
So are you buying but then you sublet rooms in your place, or how does that work?
I'm renting it and renting it out.
That's your work?
Part-time work. A part-time work as a waitress.
Which one is bringing you in more income?
Waitressing for now.
Okay.
I just started that business, so I'm actually not making any money now.
And then £3,000 in Dublin, how were you able to pay for that? Did you get financial support or?
No, we just split in with my mom and 2 of our friends.
Okay.
But we had to, I lived with my mom in one bed and we had to be all together living.
Where's your mom now?
In Dublin.
Oh, so she's still there. So what made you decide to go from Dublin to London?
It's so much more opportunities here. It's a big city. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of things to do. In Dublin, it was just cool, but it was nothing to do.
And then what did you hate about Ireland or Dublin?
Weather. Weather is so much worse than in England, to be honest.
I can imagine. Aside from the weather, what else did you hate?
I think I didn't like the transport. Transport is really bad in there. I think I hated that it's nowhere to go because everywhere that you can go is just pub or bars.
Okay.
That's it. There's not that many coffee shops. That's it. Yeah.
And what would be your advice to anybody who is going to Dublin or Ireland?
Just to talk as many people as possible there, because if you start a conversation with someone, they might be your friends for life.
What's been your first impression of the UK or your impression of the UK so far?
When I was studying English in school, we were studying a lot about London and stuff. I saw it in the books. So when I came here, I was like, wow, I'm actually here. And I thought it's really beautiful and busy and chaotic. But it's nice. I like the movement here. But I think I wouldn't be able to live here full time. I prefer Madrid because it's more peaceful. But it's still there's so much things to do. I love it. And I feel like people are nice here.
What's something that's been surprising about your experience in the UK?
First of all, it's really expensive. I was like, it cannot be real. Also, in the central area, for example, if you want to get tobacco, they're going to scam you and you will pay £10 more than usual in the shop. I mean, that was weird for me. Why would you scam me? Second, dating. It's a little bit weird here. I don't think people are genuine here in dating.
What experience have you had where someone hasn't been genuine?
It's just my impression. I didn't have that experience, but from listening stories of my friends and stuff.
So you haven't gone on any dates here?
I went to a few, but
What happened?
nothing happened.
Okay.
It was weird. They would be love bombing you, but then suddenly, no, nobody ghosted me.
Okay. So you said they love bombed you, and then what happened?
And then they're weird. I don't know. It doesn't feel right.
What about you? What's been the most surprising thing about London or the UK?
People are really closed off here. It's really hard to make friends here. Yeah, I haven't made that many friends here, to be honest, and I've been living here for 2.5 years.
Because they're minding their business usually.
Yeah, everyone's busy, everyone's in a rush somewhere. For example, a lot of people work here in the office, so it's hard for them. They work from 9 to 5 and then after 5 they want to go like chill and stuff. So yeah, it's been really hard because of that.
And as a Ukrainian, what has been kind of your reception from British people when you mentioned that you're from Ukraine?
They were really curious about the situation as well. They were curious about how is the politics is really interesting for English people.
Politic topic is like really interesting for them.
So going on to that quickly, what is something people should know, or maybe they don't know about what's going on in Ukraine that you'd like people to know?
They keep bombing us every day, especially the east, well, the whole Ukraine, but the east part, they bombing like every day so hard. And every day people are dying. Obviously, like it's not that loud in the news anymore, which is sad. I guess it happens the same about Palestine, that they don't talk about it that much anymore, which is also sad.
And yeah, I'd say people started to forget about the war. So they still, when I tell them about like, oh, my dad just called me about like there's no electricity for like 2 days, and they're like, what do you mean? Is there still war in Ukraine? I'm like, yeah, for 3 years it's been going on. So that's what I want. Yeah.
And what do you like most about the UK?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
What's fun?
And there's so much things to do. Like there's millions of markets, millions of things to do. Like you can go to paint, you can go to so much places to do yoga, Pilates or whatever. Like so much apps also like to connect with people. Forgot.
Locals, meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use Meetup a lot.
All this stuff, like you can meet so much people and do like cool plans.
What's been your favorite activity?
We went actually here with her to paint.
Spitalfields?
Yeah, it's somewhere there.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It was cool. I like to walk here. I walk a lot when I'm in London because I feel like it's really nice city to walk. No, but the thing that I don't like is to walk in the evening because I'm not feeling that safe. That's the issue that I forgot to admit, that I'm not feeling that safe here.
And why don't you feel safe?
There's a lot of freaks. Oh, you know why? Because once when I was in the bus, there was a guy that seated next to me and he started to touch himself.
What?
Yeah, that was horrible. And the bus driver didn't do nothing. He didn't kick him out.
Yeah, it's very hard for bus drivers because I've got a friend who's a bus driver. There's only so much they can do, but someone touching themselves, you have to stop the whole bus or something.
And then the woman that was leaving the bus, she asked me like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Well, I am shocked." And she was like, "They have to ban this guy because he's doing it every day." Every day.
It's too much.
Imagine there's kids coming back from school in this bus, or I don't know, someone's mom, someone's grandma, someone whatever, and there's this guy sitting masturbating. It's not normal.
Wow. What about you? What you don't like about the UK?
For example, to go to another city, I need to spend such a long time. It's just long to get anywhere. And yeah, from like here to get to Bond Street, I need to walk for like 2 hours. And it's just ridiculous. So that's what I don't like. Yeah, about the safety as well. I'm scared sometimes. Like people get stabbed here in the middle of the day when it's...
like that's insane. Like
They just stabbed a kid and a mom in like the middle of the street recently.
So from that, you don't have a sense of being safe.
no, how can you feel safe where this can happen? Like nobody is safe. Like someone will stop you just because it's fun. I don't know. They felt like it. You know, it's weird.
Let's move to something that's positive. Did you say your favorite thing about London or the UK?
My favorite thing going out, here's a lot of things to do, a lot of activities. You will never get bored, I'd say.
What's your favorite place to go to?
Oh, it's a lot of places. Yeah, even in the UK, it's a lot of cities that you can go to that are different. But London is my favorite.
For anybody who's coming from overseas to the UK or London, what would be your recommendation or advice to them?
To be careful with their phones.
To just not go to tourist activities because it's a lot of tourists.
London Eyes is calm.
So go to Sky Garden or like there's the Lookout or something. That's so many things open and it's for free. And London Eye, it's like you have to pay crazy money and you gotta be stuck like a sardine with other people. And like champagne glass is like £50. It's like no. And it's a lot of things as a tourist attractions that like you just spend too much money.
I'm here with...
Anastasia,
And how long have you been in the UK?
quite a few years.
What brought you to the UK?
Mainly work. I'm a typical economic migrant.
I guess since you've been in the UK for quite a while, how has your experience changed over the years as a Ukrainian in the UK?
First of all, this Ukrainian became British quite a few years ago, so I call myself British Ukrainian or Ukrainian British. So that was the main change. This country became home. So I suppose nothing surprises me anymore, which means that now having so many Ukrainians in London who moved to this country because of the war that Russia inflicted on our country, I can tell them about the UK. I can educate them and hopefully help them.
Great. So when you first came, or up to this point in time, what was the most surprising thing to you about the UK?
Well, it was the weather. I remember the day when I arrived here from Madrid, from sunny Madrid, and I remember it was a very dull and very cold November morning. So I think that was the main contrast. And then the fact that I thought that I could speak English, and in fact, I couldn't understand a thing, especially about the London accent. So that was a very steep learning curve, but I managed.
What do you love about the UK?
I would say variety, and mainly I'm talking about London because I consider myself a Londoner, and I think that when you move to London first, even if you had lived in a big city before, you find it challenging because of this variety. But once you've lived here for a while, you will find something just for yourself, and you will be able to love that bit of London dearly. So I think that's what I'd say to anyone who's moving to London for the first time. Look for what attracts you, look for your love, your hobby, and you will find it.
Well said. And what do you hate about the UK?
I don't hate anything about the UK. There's nothing to hate because it's my adopted home. What I find interesting is the political discourse. People like Nigel Farage who pop up like from now and then, and I find very interesting that people support political figures like that because I don't find anything in what he says healthy or realistic. Because I think that this country can pride itself in having a very rational view of the world. So when people go and support some radical politicians, that surprises me.
And what in particular surprises you about that? Why do you think they support Nigel Farage, and why do you not like what he says, and what in particular don't you like about it?
Well, I remember what Nigel Farage said quite a few years ago. It was quite an off-the-cuff comment about finding himself in a train carriage full of people speaking different languages or with different accents. And I thought, hey, dude, I mean, like, that's London for you. You know, it's a melting pot. That's the beauty of being in the big city. And I think that we should take pride in it, not to criticize.
I agree with that, but I know there are lots of people who don't actually like that in the UK. Moving along, what British food do you like?
Well, I think that actually some classical British food is actually good, but you need to go to a really good pub. And I can recommend one. It's Mayflower in Rotherhithe.
What do you get there that you really like?
Well, actually, I can't drink beer, so it's my guilty pleasure. And I think that you will get a lot of critical comments after what I'm saying, but they make the best Guinness mixing it with black currant syrup.
And in terms of British food?
British food, I think that I am partial to some good fish and chips.
So you do like fish and chips?
I do. I will remove the batter and I will eat the fish.
I understand that. It's a bit fatty, isn't it, the batter? Not as nice. As a Ukrainian, when you tell people you're Ukrainian, what's the kind of response that you get? How do you get treated?
Well, you know, it's a very interesting question, Korede, because I remember very clearly quite a few years ago, there was still a perception that Ukraine is part of London, which was amazing to me. But because Ukraine was not that firmly on the map for many people, it's quite tragic that events like war actually put the place on the map. And I remember surprise in people's eyes, is it an independent country? I had to say, yes, it is. And then I would go into half an hour tale about the history and differences and the tough historical journey which Ukraine had to travel to get where we are today. Today has fundamentally the situation is changed. Ukraine was in the news, and we would all like Ukraine to continue to be in the news because people are fighting, people are losing their lives, and international politics quite tricky at the moment. So we can only hope that it will change for the best. And as Ukrainians, we have to continue educating, including people in Britain, and reminding them that we are there. And what I'm going to say is a very strong belief of mine that we have peace here because somebody's fighting for this peace in Ukraine. So I think that I would like to leave you with that.
And I guess any final comments about your experience as being a Ukrainian in the UK, or just any comments to anyone who might be coming to the UK to live here about what they should do?
Well, I would say that I would like to end this very pleasant chat with a comment about yourself. I was very interested to see a young man, a British young man with a microphone and a camera going around this very traditional Ukrainian club. So I approached you and asked a question. What surprises you? That British people are full of surprises. So thank you for surprising me.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. All right, I'm here with
Dimitro.
Nice to meet you. And how long have you been in the UK?
4 years and counting.
What brought you to the UK?
Job.
What do you do?
I'm a software engineer. I write software for other software engineers.
Okay.
So they offered me a job. They wanted me to move mid-pandemic. I said, yeah, why not? Sounds like an adventure, right?
And where are you from in Ukraine?
Kiev. The capital.
Born and bred in Kiev, lived there your whole life, or?
Yeah, born and bred Kiev, lived in Treshina and then moved to Solomenka and then here.
You've been here 4 years. So far, what's been your experience of life in the UK?
Big bag of mixed things. I generally like it, don't get me wrong. Like, I used to tell my colleagues I like the weather. You won't believe me, but I do like the weather. It's not as extreme, right? You don't have minus 15, minus 20 here in the winter. You don't have winter, but still, right? You don't have plus 30 in the summer. I like the summer here. So yeah, I do like the general vibe here, to be honest. The weather and the stability. That's something everyone in Eastern Europe wants sometimes.
And how have you found British people to be?
Not homogeneous, different, like very different from good to bad, like all the people everywhere.
Have there been anything surprised you about British people or British culture?
Do you want a good answer or a bad answer?
Both.
Oh man. Okay, so the bad answer would be probably amount of drinking. A good answer would be probably ability to know when it's good enough. You know, a job is good enough and you can live your life. Like this work-life balance, I think I feel it in many places here. And that's cool, because you don't need to kill yourself on your job, and neither you don't actually need to just, not do it at all. Because everyone likes when a bus comes, everyone likes when a train comes, right? But there is a good enough level, which is sometimes hard to achieve.
Going back to the drinking, so how does drinking culture in Ukraine compare to drinking culture in the UK? Because you seem surprised by the amount of people drink here in the UK. I'm wondering what's it like in Ukraine?
So we usually drink with purpose. Like, I don't go to a pub to just spend an evening there getting my 5 pints, right? If I'm gonna be wasted, I'll go grab a bottle of something stronger. What's the point of sitting for 4 hours there? Come on. And then, there is a purpose. I might be willing to get wasted with you together, then we'll get 2 bottles, not 6 pints or something. And we don't need 4 hours to get wasted. Like, come on, 20 minutes and we're done. So, there is a sense of purpose and sense of time being precious. I don't have the whole day drinking with you, come on. And I think we don't drink alone as much.
And what do Ukrainians drink to get wasted really quickly, since efficiency in getting wasted is what you seem to say is the situation?
Well, it depends on how much money you've got and what the company. So you can go anywhere from cheap vodka to very nice cognacs and to nice gorilkas with peppers and stuff like that. Then you can always drink like beer, and if you're drinking on the street with mates and stuff in the evening, well, we don't have as many pubs, so we don't usually go there. Usually drink somewhere in the street, you just go grab good old Bologna or Chernigivsky and whatever and just drink the whole evening.
What do you hate most about the UK?
Oof. Probably the same thing I hate about most of the places. Humans have this incentive not to do enough when not under pressure or not under spotlight. You've got it in Ukraine, it's a very old and known picture. I've got a little bit the same here. They bought some COVID stuff from their mates for inflated prices. Who could have guessed? But it would have never been anywhere unless some papers brought it up. You all know the Grenfell story all too well. So, I hate when people don't do good enough job when they actually had to, and it's not really confined to Britain.
What do you love most about the UK?
Diversity, and the fact that you guys have got your culture and history in physical shape. I'm gonna go there, I'll see a building which was built 200 years ago, then 300 years ago, then 500 years ago, and then some old random stuff that was built when William the Conqueror came here. This is something I never experienced when I lived in Ukraine, because our history is a number of unconnected dots with either wars or genocides between. You guys here have a continued line of history. You can go and actually physically touch it and bite it and, spank it and whatever, and you can actually show your kid, look, this was bombed by the Germans 70 years ago. Look, this was built by Queen Elizabeth I, and here's her portrait, right? And we've got, okay, this was done 50 years ago, and that stuff was done 500 years ago. No one knows what's in between. Don't ask questions. That's a little bit of it.
That's a really good point. I think we sometimes forget the importance of preserving history and how it's so important to the identity of a country. When that's lost or not preserved as much, it makes it very hard to experience.
You never know it until you actually see it. It's an underappreciated word. It's and I can say this
underappreciated.
This word. Yeah, it's very hard to explain to someone who doesn't know the difference. And it was equally hardish to explain to my peers from Ukraine when I'm saying, like, these guys, they have histories that they can actually touch, like, year by year. And like, what do you mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? You don't touch history. It just doesn't exist. It's not here. There's this, sense of history being present in your real everyday life. It's very, very, I mean, come on, Holland Park is such an old station. But in Ukraine, it's like museum grade stuff, and you just live in it.
So, as a Ukrainian, how do you feel you're treated in the UK? So when you tell people you're from Ukraine, where it comes up in conversation, what kind of response do you get?
I never had any negative responses or anything. Obviously, with the latest events and this being recorded in 2025, people know a little bit more of Ukraine and not from the positive side. Everyone knows, oh yeah, war and stuff. But people are generally curious to learn what's happened and why, and I usually try to explain as much as I can in the terms that can be appreciated and understood, because we live quite far, and the life on different sides of Europe is different, and sometimes it's a little bit hard to explain. Again, just like with history, if you don't have perspective, it's really hard to understand. That's why what you do is quite important, because you bring perspective and you learn the perspective yourself.
Thank you. What do you think people should know about Ukraine, whether it's the current situation in Ukraine or just overall about Ukraine, that maybe is going unmissed in modern media or current affairs?
Whatever they want. I mean, if I don't care about a country A, I'm not gonna learn anything about a country A because someone said me. So, if you're curious, go read some history. If you're not, don't bother.
What would you like people to know as a Ukrainian about your country?
I would like people to know our history of last 100 years a little bit deeper. And it's not only about Ukraine, it's most of Eastern Europe. Because sometimes it feels like people feel, oh yeah, the First World War ended, then something happened, not really useful, and Second World War, and then everyone lived happily ever after. Well, okay, rebuild, paid the debts, and lived happily ever after. It's very much not the case for the whole Eastern Europe. And, the problems arise when people start talking about Balkans, Czechoslovak, Serbia, and stuff, and not only Ukraine. It's very different. I would like people to know history a little bit more.
Any final words that you might have to anyone from overseas who might be coming to the UK, as somebody who's not from the UK, about how to make the most of their time in the UK or things to look out for?
I mean, come with an open mind and with a good old guidebook. And I mean, yeah, read the history before you come, because it doesn't make any sense if you don't know. Or just watch horrible histories. That's fun.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. Hi everyone, my name is Korede and I'm embarking on an exciting challenge, going from 100 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers in 1 month. I need your help to achieve this. I am a YouTuber, I make great exciting videos, traveling, asking people about hot topics. You can check out my videos, subscribe, follow, share and like. Let's hit this target of 10,000 subscribers in 1 month. Together we can do this. Let the internet unite and let's make this happen.